Hello, I'm Zach.
I'm Zubayr.
And welcome again to our harmony.
Our harmony.
Our harmony circle, perhaps, is the better way. How are you?
Thank you.
Good.
You're?
Good, too. We're still on the first word.
Yep.
And we're going to continue from the Said Nursi's The Word from the Risale-i Nur collection. First word, first paragraph, middle of the
sentence.
No, second sentence.
Great.
Or the third sentence, maybe. Yes. Anyway, in the middle, it starts with if you want. So I think you have the Turkish version just for reference, and I'll read from the English. So, if you want to know what an inexhaustible strength, what an unending source of bounty is Bismillah, listen to the following story, which is in the form of a comparison. It goes like this. We'll stop here. We're not going to read the story. What is actually happening here?
Something strange.
Something strange. We want to understand something. Okay, that's the goal. We want to focus, but understanding means to focus on the meaning itself.
Okay.
So what's the meaning that's being expressed in Bismillah? What I understand here by saying an inexhaustible strength and an unending source of bounty is that the author is basically saying that there is infinite resources in this world. Because everything, why, real quickly, before you make your objection, I know you're going to make it.
Okay.
Why? Because everything says Bismillah, and that means everything has an inexhaustible strength and an unending bounty.
I think the author kind of exaggerating things, because we know that supply and demand.
Modern economics, yeah.
Yeah. We can say the demand is unending. Okay.
Okay, we agree. Fine.
But the supply is not endless.
That's your objection.
Yep.
That the supply is not endless.
The author used some slightly different term. Unending source of bounty, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be a clue, but yeah, here is the objection.
Okay, but it's unending. Well, it's an unending, inexhaustible strength also. Okay, so basically
that's
that
also
it is
impossible.
Okay, so basically we have our objection here. That really is supply also unending.
So
is it,
what?
or is it limited, as modern economics says? Okay, let's go with some examples. Okay, you have one glass of water, you're right.
Yeah.
And I have one glass of water. But anyway, so some examples. I'll ask you a question. When you eat a fig, the fruit.
Yep. Delicious.
It's good. When you eat one fig, how many figs are you actually eating?
One.
One? Really?
Theoretically, physically, yes, but theoretically, a lot.
So why?
There are some seeds of fig in it, right?
Okay.
I'm actually eating seeds of fig.
Yes.
And there are some other fig trees.
So every seed represents one tree. How many?
Presumably.
Okay. How many trees? How many fruits? How many figs does one tree give?
Endless.
Essentially,
theoretically,
yes. So theoretically, in terms of potential, at least.
In terms of potential, yeah.
In terms of potential, when you eat one fig, you're actually eating an infinite amount of figs, an unending.
I felt sick.
Okay, but you are. I mean, in terms of potential, at least, eating one fig means to eat an endless amount of figs. Okay.
Okay.
That's one example. Another example.
Source of bounty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange, yeah.
So think about this. Another example that we can give. Let's give 3 examples. One is the fig. Another one is it? Can you think of one?
Yeah. For example, we are trying to find an example of something that looks
limited,
but in fact we can find the meaning of infiniteness inside it.
Exactly.
The number pi.
How?
The decimal part.
Yeah. How?
It's 3.14, and it goes like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the actual number pi is less than 3.15, but bigger than 3.14.
So those are the boundaries.
The boundaries.
So it has boundaries, limits.
Yeah.
But
actually, it's a really small boundary. But the numbers after the decimal part, it goes to infinity.
Yeah.
You can't even calculate it.
Okay. So good.
Good.
So we have the fig. We have pi, the number pi at least.
Don't eat it.
And then we have one more that I'll throw in. This is maybe the most important of this, because it looks towards myself. I have infinite wants in just one thing. For example, my tea. I drink the tea.
You mean, yeah, okay.
And
go ahead.
Just one glass of tea doesn't satisfy me.
Yes, I know. Maybe 2?
2, 3. Actually, if you think about it, the tea itself, once I drink tea, I realize that I want this tea forever. What do I mean? I can't be satisfied with only having this as my last glass of tea and never drinking tea again.
Maybe 10 glasses of water, the tea does not satisfy you again. Because
if I look at my entire life, at my reality, if I think about just at this one moment, yes, this tea might satisfy me, but I can't be happy with the fact that this is the last tea that I will ever drink in my life. My want and desire of tea is also endless.
Okay.
Okay, so 3 things that we gave the example of. We can see in terms of potential and meaning that there is unlimitedness created in a limited world.
So, if this is a clue,
yes.
What are we going to understand from that?
What are we going to understand? One, that this is at least, in terms of theory, maybe not practiced, that there is unlimitedness, infinity created within limits.
As a clue.
Yes.
As a gate, maybe.
Yes, as a gate. Why is this important?
Why?
Because this is what Bismillah is saying. If we don't actually have this understanding, whenever we say Bismillah, we might not actually be saying the meaning of Bismillah.
Come again?
Bismillah points to the fact that there is infinity in this.
In everything.
In everything.
How?
How?
We just gave 3 examples.
So now moving from the physical examples to the meaning or the spiritual, they basically mean the same word. Once I taste the tea, I actually see it as what we say, a act of mercy.
Okay.
Okay, this is a word at least we use.
You want it. God gave it to you.
Oh, if somebody makes me tea, he makes it not for the material, but to show me mercy. Once I taste the tea, I'm now connected to this infinite source of mercy. So yes, practically there is only one glass of tea.
But is the mercy limited?
Is the mercy limited? No, because I know that mercy. I have become in contact with that mercy, and now I can reach into that mercy. I know the act of mercy from tea.
Just like I have a king. The king has an infinite amount of money. Just.
My tea is finished. So.
But we know the source of tea, the absolute source of tea is there.
Yes, you're kind of jumping to conclusions a little bit, but
okay,
that's correct. I can go back and I can remember, wow, that glass of tea was such a great tea. The taste was great. Actually, the mercy that was exhibited on it was great. By going back into the past, I can remember one glass of tea.
Okay.
The meaning of that one glass of tea is infinite. That's what I mean.
I see.
Now to what you're saying, you're right. If there is infinity, both in potential and meaning, created in this limited world, in this limited existence, then its source has to be actually not infinite, absolute.
That brings the question, if the absolute and the unlimited things are the same, that's another thing.
That's another thing, but it's an important thing. We'll go and just touch on it really briefly.
Okay.
Infinity and absolute are actually different.
But look close.
But they seem, exactly. Because infinite is part of creation, part of existence.
Okay.
Okay, I can never reach infinity. It's a number which I can never reach. So in a sense, it's a concept, but it's within the creation, it's within existence. So it is in a sense, for all intents and purposes, a number from my perspective.
Okay.
Okay, it's a number I can't reach. That's what we're going to. Absolute is not a number whatsoever. It transcends the numbers. In order to be able to create infinity, and I see infinity in this creation, the creator of that infinity has to be above infinity even. Has to be absolute.
Yep.
That's what this is.
To be a source of infinite things.
Exactly. It is the source of infinity.
I see.
So that's what Bismillah is pointing to. The T itself is saying Bismillah. It's saying that, yes, you see infinity inside me. That means that I am from an absolute source.
Yeah.
That's what this sentence, I think, is saying.
Great.
It's an important sentence. It's an idea that, although we might not always be able to see it practically, theoretically, we understand that that is reality.
That's why you are stressing on the understanding part.
Yes, because if we misunderstand this, if we say that in reality there is a limited number of resources, we're actually saying that there's no God.
Oops.
Because if the Creator is absolute, He has to create infinitely. We might see it within limits. That's another issue. We'll talk about that later. But this is, I think, the end of that. This is this sentence.
That discussion might goes to infinity.
Yes, so that's the last of our discussion for now. We hope you had a good time. Please think about it. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.